through time.
In this short time, the glacier has moved a lot.
And this is an extraordinary glacier, like it's amongst the most sensitive and responsive glaciers in the world. And that means that it's really sensitive to really small changes in climate. And it's also responsive, which means that it responds really, really quickly to those changes.
It's almost like the glacier's breathing in a way.
Yeah, it's really hard to think of it any other way, eh? Like, these glaciers all have their own characteristics. They all have their own personalities. And now that I've seen it move, I can't get away from the idea that it's alive, for sure.
For over a century, tourists have flocked to South Westland to view what is regarded as one of the jewels in Aotearoa's tourism crown.
No other glacier outside the Arctic Circle, we're told, arrives unmelted at so low an altitude.
Majestic and accessible to all.
The visitor can be given an easy and intimate glimpse of phenomena belonging to the heights.
You know, the glacier was the backdrop, I guess, to my childhood in those very formative years. You used to drive on the road and there'd be the pool.
Cara Edwards, CEO of Te Runanga o Makawhio, mana whenua.
So I grew up knowing that they were really important. That's what drew people to our town, and that's what employed people back in the day and still does now.
To them, the glacier here is the embodiment of a love story between a warrior called Wawe and a woman mountaineer, Hine Hukatere. Wawe died tragically on the mountain, leaving Hine Hukatere broken-hearted.
And so her mourning and her loss for her great love were the tears that flowed and froze in time and became ka roimata o Hine Hukatere, the frozen tears of Hine Hukatere.
But these days, getting to see her frozen tears
of phytoplankton that glow when they're disturbed. That's why they light up when they're hit by waves. The phenomenon's becoming more common here on New Zealand shores.
We've had more reports of them in the last few years. You can say that the conditions for this summer have been quite favourable for phytoplankton to continue growing with warm conditions.
These photographers say beaches are becoming busier at night as more Kiwis seek the shimmering shorelines. And more pictures are posted on social media.
We've got a local face group. That first night that I actually saw it, which is like I say just over two and a bit years ago, and it started with 100 people. And it's well over 5,000 now.
This part of the country is a go-to area for photographers chasing bio, but it's hard to predict when and where it'll appear.
You need really good tidal and wind patterns to bring the algae onto our shores here so we can see it up close.
Meaning it takes practice and patience to get a glimpse of this blue treasure. Jacob Johnson, One News.
And you can see more of this natural phenomenon with an extended story from Jacob Johnson. That will be tonight at 10:30. Well, Chris is here with sport and the Warriors autopsy. It continues.
Yeah, you get the feeling this one might take a little while. The coach is doubling down on accusations some of the players gave up. We've got the latest from the Melbourne Storm fallout. Plus, the broad swimmers' shoulders carrying New Zealand's hopes in the pool at the upcoming Commonwealth Games.
Kia ora, Indira. Well, the main message from the scientists involved in this New Zealand sea level rise study is that we have less time than we thought to act. Now, we're out here at Owhiro Bay on Wellington's south coast, an area vulnerable to sea level rises. And part of that study found that in just 18 years, parts of Wellington could see up to 30 centimetres of sea level rise, which could cause once-in-a-century flood damage every year. Now, globally, the sea level is expected to rise about half a metre by the year 2100, but in New Zealand, because of land subsidence, that could be more than double that. Now, the scientists in the study are urging people to go and check out their website, nzsearise.co.nz, and they're urging councils and homeowners to have a look at what sea level rise impacts could have on your homes. But we'll be joined by Climate Change Minister James Shaw just after the weather to talk about this study and to talk about what the New Zealand government are doing to help this.
Thanks very much, Abby. That website there, searise.nz. And the government is set to reveal its first emissions reductions plan